Yebo Gogos, how are you guys doing? All right? Well, so are we. The sun is shining, summer has returned. We had summer for 2 weeks in the beginning of the summer, and now in December we have the return of summer. And of course, it's still raining. And we're not complaining about that. It's just scary sometimes because a lot of thunder and lightning and hail. There are places that really received so much hail that it looked like high snow time in some, like Canada and those places. The really serious hail. But if I get that kind of hail here at my place, my houses will just be flattened. But yeah, so we are not complaining. We are just a bit scared now and then because of the rough weather. We read about David starting his reign as king of Israel. First only Judah, then the whole of Israel. And he did well also by getting the Ark of Covenant back to Jerusalem, that he made his city of preference, where he built his palace, and also wanted to build a house for God. We'll hear a little bit about that today. But he had a son called Amnon, and he raped his half-sister, Tamar. And Tamar's full brother, Absalom, grew very hateful of Amnon, and he waited 2 years to revenge his sister's raping. And he had him killed, whilst they were having a sheep shearing festival. It was still a big thing in those days to shear sheep and to get the wool off the sheep. Must have been a very difficult and tough setup. But anyway, so he was killed. And Absalom had to fly or escape away from Israel because of what happened there. He fled to his grandfather Tamai, and David, of course, loved his son, and he mourned for 3 years. And during that time, Absalom was not allowed back at all. But then, through a plan devised by Joab, he was able to return to Jerusalem. Then starts the rebellion against David via Absalom. He was a handsome and charming guy, and he gradually stole the hearts of the people, and he suggested to the people, in private, that David was neglecting the justice system. So after a few years, Absalom went to Hebron, and there he was actually proclaimed as king. So David was forced to escape to Mahanaim, which is a town somewhere. I did not check it on the map to see where it is. I'll still do that. But during this rebellion, Absalom sought advice from Ahithophel. He was one of his advisors. However, David's loyal advisor, Hushai, pretended to serve Absalom in order to thwart Ahithophel's counsel. So whatever advice he said, Hushai would then try and counter and bring out the negative side of it. He delayed advice in such a way, that David had time to receive warnings every time that they maybe tried to kill him. And then he would be able to escape. So when Ahithophel saw that his advice was disregarded, he hanged himself. So he killed himself because he saw that every time Absalom would not take his advice. And that was a very dangerous thing to happen, because he was giving him, in other words, the wrong advice. So that his advice was every time was disregarded. It became dangerous for him. Then the rebellion ended when Absalom died. It happened like this. In the middle of a battle in the forest of Ephraim, Absalom was caught by his hair in the branches of a tree while he was riding a mule. So he was riding underneath the trees with a mule. He was ducking the branches, and the next moment he didn't duck far enough, and the branches caught him, and he was hanging in midair, and of course he died. Joab found him hanging there and then killed him. David was greatly saddened by his son Absalom's death. Also, we learn about David's sin in ordering a census, counting of the people. A wicked act the Lord permitted the devil to, this was just a wicked act that the Lord permitted the devil to tempt David with. As punishment, God offered David a choice of 3 forms of discipline, and David chose to fall into God's hand. So there was various offers on the table, and he decided that he will be safe in God's hand. Even if God kills him, he would be happy with that. So a plague was sent among Israel, killing 70,000 people. The plague stopped when David repented, and there and then he built an altar. So many people suffered because of his sins. Well, in the final events, at the end of his reign, David began preparing materials for the construction of a temple for the Lord. Although David gathered all the resources, God had determined and told David that he will not build the temple, but his son Solomon would rule, and he will complete the temple. So David was only allowed to prepare for the building of the temple, but was not allowed to put one stone on the next or the other, because it was going to be his son Solomon who will have that privilege. Before David died, when another son, Adoniah, tried to seize the throne, David confirmed that Solomon would be the new king and had him anointed in his place. So there was nearly something like a coup. But David was still alive and strong enough to stop it and anoint his son Solomon. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll read further, I suppose, of the reign of Solomon as king of Israel. And we'll see what happens there. Okay. That's it for today. Now go to bed, sleep tight, and remember, Oupa and Oma love you too. And God willing, we'll have a chat again tomorrow about the kings of Israel and how they reigned and their sins and their successes and so on. All right. Sleep tight. Love you too. Ciao, ciao.